What's up, YouTube? It's Ryan checking in with Walk It Off Sports again. And tonight I'm here to talk about those Georgia Bulldogs. And no, I'm not talking about football Bulldogs. I'm talking about the men's basketball team. That's right. Don't talk about those guys very much, but tonight I'm going to show them a little love. And I got to tell you, a week ago, I thought this video was probably going to go in a lot different direction. We'd lost 4 in a row. It wasn't looking good for our chances at making the tournament. A lot of rumbling about Mike White, even though this is just his 3rd year. And granted, I will say this team still, on occasion, more often than not, unfortunately, looks a little bit like Jekyll and Hyde, depending on the half. Usually we come out like gangbusters, like our hair's on fire in the first half, jump out to a huge lead. I believe in 5 of our SEC games, we've led at the half, only to turn around and lose. But all along, everyone knew that 7 wins was a good number to kind of bank on in the SEC this year, with just how dominant the conference is, to get you into the tournament. And Georgia came out looking great, non-conference record at the beginning of the season, sitting in a good position. The record, at first kind of got off to a little bit better start than maybe some people thought, but then we hit a little bit of a lull there, lost 4 games in a row. And going into the Florida game, granted it was at home, but you were playing the number 3 team in the country, Mike White's old team. They'd already put it on us once down in Gainesville. The chances were looking slim to none. Joe Lenardi had us out. It wasn't looking good for us. And lo and behold, we came out again like gangbusters. Got up to, I believe, 27-point lead on Florida last week. It evaporated in the second half, miraculously somehow. And then Blue Cane happened, and he saved us, saved the season. And him and Silas Demery have just carried this team on their backs the last few games. They, after that, went on to Texas to play a bubble team, manhandled them, made it look easy, and then tonight got their 3rd SEC win in a row to get to 7 wins on the season. They have a really good chance to get to 8 when Vandy comes to Athens, and looking like a pretty strong, 10 seed possibly in the tournament, which, hey, granted, it's like, well, that's a 10 seed, but this team hasn't been to the tournament since 2015, okay? We haven't had a tournament win that we didn't have to vacate since 1996. We had a tournament win in 2002, but we had to vacate because of Herrick's Hounds and all of that drama. But this will only be, granted, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but it looks like now there's about a 70% chance we will be dancing this year. And that will be the first time, like I said, since 2015, and only the 6th time this century that we've been dancing. So it's not typically in the cards to see UGA play into March, and hopefully we can make a little run at this thing. But even if we just get there, right, that's progress. Mike White, his 3rd year here, he already took us deep into the NIT last year. He was coming in after we had just had the worst season we'd had in 4 decades. Came in, got 16 wins, respectable number. Next year, got to 20 wins. Made some noise in the NIT, got to the Final 4 in the NIT. And, so this is just the next step, right? It's a progression, right? And are there still blemishes on this team? Sure. Is Mike White's, game plan in the second half, does that leave room for some questioning? Sure. It's got to, because, like I said, we've led at the half in over half of our losses in the SEC. And, some of those games turned out to be blowouts in the end, even though we were leading. In Texas A&M, we were up by 9 at the half, lost by 16, up by 1 against Tennessee, lost by 19. So, the questioning, is, valid at times, but you can't deny the progress that you see in this team. And the thing is, with college basketball these days, you've got a new team every year. And the fact that he held on to Demery and held on to Blue Cane, and these guys are, kind of leading the charge here at the end, went out, got a, potential lottery pick in Newell. And, this team, is something to be reckoned with. It's a force to be reckoned with. They play defense, and defense wins games. Defense wins games on the road, especially. We've played tough opponents in neutral sites. We, hung with Marquette early in the season. We beat St. John's, who at the time was ranked 21. Now they're top 10 team. So, I mean, we've played tough competition. We've won 3 or 4 other ranked games in the SEC. We had to play Auburn twice. Only lost to them by 1. I had a shot to win it right there at the end. It just rimmed out. So, we've been battle tested this year. And it's a new excitement, really, that not many people have been able to experience often or any, as far as Georgia men's basketball making it to the tournament. So, hey, have a good idea that, we're probably going to be getting in. Let's go dancing. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this. Hopefully we can, get a 10 seed. I'd rather honestly have a 10 seed than a 9 seed. And, those 10-7 games, those are fun to watch. A lot of times they're very equally matched games. And, I think we have a good chance to kind of make some noise. Like I said, let's go get one more win against Vandy. Win a game or two in the SEC tournament. Not too worried about trying to do too much there. Rest up a little bit, and get ready, and let's try to make a run at this thing. But hey, just glad to be in the conversation in March, really. And it's exciting times. Mike White, again, hey, he's going to have to keep rebuilding this roster every year, but find a nucleus, hold on to it, keep pumping some money into that program. And hey, let's be in the conversation for years to come, and try to make it back to a Sweet 16 for the first time since 1996 in the near future, if not this year. But hey, why not us, right? So I'm gonna walk it off with that. Go Dogs.